welcome to Germanna today. I'm Cheryl Huff, and I'm here with...
Hi, I'm Ashley Anglin.
Wrapping up the fall semester.
Yes, time to register for
spring classes.
Spring, get that underway.
They're filling up. If you want to get a great schedule, you have to get in there fast.
You do, although remember we have classes that start right away, and then we have classes that start a few weeks after. Yes. And a few weeks after that.
And we've had a bit of a change. Our classes are slightly shorter in week length, although not shorter in how many hours you actually spend in the classroom, so we keep our accreditation. We have 15-week classes. We have some 12-week classes, and we have 7-week classes. So roll on in and get registered as fast as you can.
So recently we had some exciting news about a Germanna alum. I actually saw this person's name driving by campaign signs and then on the ballot as I live in Spotsylvania County, but didn't know that Robbie Abusmal was a Germanna graduate. Yes. And had really found Germanna to be an excellent opportunity for him, but he's now the youngest elected member of the Spotsylvania County School Board. So we have a video of Robbie talking about his experience at Germanna and the opportunities that were provided for him here, and how he felt that he was able to overcome some big challenges in his life by being here at the right place and the right time.
I'm Robbie Abusmal. I'm the new school board member-elect for the Cortland District in Spotsylvania County. I'm a recent graduate here at Germanna Community College, graduated before moving on to University of Mary Washington to continue my education there. My dad got diagnosed with cancer my first year here at Germanna. Having to carry the burden of losing a parent or being in the process of losing a parent and knowing you're going to lose a parent while having to do schoolwork. And I was also working full-time in my family's restaurant. We own Danny's Pizza down the road here in Leeds Hill. And it was overwhelming. I had the family business to worry about. I had my father's health to worry about. Every single professor I had inside this institution was beyond helpful, very kind, very understanding. They took me, they held me together, they dusted me off, and they threw me back into the ring. Like, you can do this, you know, we believe in you, we believe you got what it takes, and you know, it was just, it made me feel good. If I had been in a different institution, not Germanna, I would have most likely dropped out of college. But if anything, Germanna was one of the reasons I was able to stay on track and go farther with my education, with my political aspirations. And here I am today, the youngest elected school board representative in the county. And I did graduate here from Germanna with honors, and I'm proud of that. What's amazing here at Germanna is the opportunities they give you along with your education. And it pushed me to make more of a difference, because if Germanna can make this much of a difference on a local level, you know, why not carry that torch and spread that experience? I came from Lebanon in 2005, where I started second grade at Smith Station Elementary School. I decided to run for office, actually while here at Germanna Community College. A lot of people told me this is where it all begins. It begins at the school board level. For me, I don't look at it that way. I don't look at it. You know, whether it begins and finishes for me here at the school board, I'm elected right now to do what's best for the children and the teachers, and I want to make the most out of this seat. You know, I want to make sure I utilize all the resources I have to ensure that the classrooms are full of school supplies, the teachers are happy with their salaries, and the students are being taught what's right. This victory, as I told the newspaper here locally, that it wasn't my victory, it was more of a movement, the movement for the younger generation to see that, hey, you might be young, but you're able to do whatever you set out to do. You're going to have obstacles, you're going to have challenges, but you can easily overcome those obstacles looking forward to the future. Losing my dad was the toughest thing I've ever had to go through thus far in life. And if it had not been for that, I would have not been able to continue to push forward with telling others that whatever you're going through now, don't lose hope, don't lose faith. Just know it's important to reach out. You know, whether it's a friend, whether it's a family. While attending Germanna Community College, it was a vital time in my life. I was either going to make it or break it. And Germanna really helped me choose who I wanted to be and choose to become the person who holds the title as the youngest elected official. They motivated me to keep on going, although I had many burdens holding me back, many things to worry about. Germanna reassured me that everything's going to be okay. They reassured me that, you know, there's always a light at the end of the tunnel. And it's because of Germanna that I can say I am who I am today.
Wow, that's a great story about Robbie Abusmal. We're really proud of him. Today with me is Bruce Davis, who's a special assistant to the president for institutional advancement, which means you.
It's a lot of words that basically mean I run the educational foundation at Germanna, raising money for its various programs and and initiatives.
Great. I'm sure you know a lot about the Gladys P. Todd Academy.
I do.
We are looking for support for that academy because it makes such a difference, as you know, in the lives of the students who come here.
It does. It's a phenomenal program, unique within the United States when it comes to dual enrollment programs. As many people know, the seed money for that was very generously donated by Doris Buffett, but that was seed money only, not permanent funding. And that's sort of the way she's operated around the Fredericksburg area for years, is she helps ramp, she gets the jet off the runway, but then once the jet's off the runway, it's got to fly on its own. And that's almost the point we are now with the Gladys P. Todd Academy. The plane has taken off, we're meeting with success with students, we're having an impact on their lives, but it's the funding, the seed money funding that's gotten the jet off the runway is going to run out within a year or so, probably less. And so the foundation has been tasked with finding other sources of funding so that we can keep flying the plane.
Right. Some people might not know that what happens in that program is that students who are primarily from first generation families that really college was not on their radar.
Correct.
They are doing high school and college simultaneously, so they come to us for their college courses toward their associate's degree.
Correct.
And then they go back to high school and wrap up their credits in the afternoons.
That's correct. These are all very talented students, and they're all from economically disadvantaged backgrounds or other disadvantages within their family. They're all first-generation students, like you said, first-generation college students in their family. But what makes the Gladys Todd program unique is with that comes, it's a free ride. It's the entire tuition, books, a laptop is provided, everything is provided. We even provide blazers so that they have a sense of unity and esprit de corps. And another unique thing is there's a mentoring program that's associated with it. So each student has a mentor, and they meet monthly to make sure that the student is doing okay and staying on the tracks.
All the staff for Gladys P. Todd are amazing. I see them out there greeting those students every morning when they come off the school buses and when they drive here. They come in the door and they are greeted, they are welcomed, they are supported from the minute they walk onto campus till they get on those buses or go out to their cars to go home. It's amazing.
They're very well monitored and held accountable and counseled. And the beauty of all that attention, I failed to mention the cultural activities that are also associated with this program. Museum visits in Washington, D.C., the Smithsonian, cultural events in Washington, D.C., like plays, also trips to Richmond. And those are all very expensive things that makes this an expensive program and also makes it unique in the world of dual enrollment. So a typical dual enrollment program like our Germanna Scholars Program, annually with the scholarships that are provided there, annually costs us about $140,000 a year. The Gladys Todd program costs about $400,000 a year. So the funding we need to ramp up needs to come from several different sources. Locally, through churches and fraternal organizations and individuals, and then a concerted effort with large businesses in the area. They need to be educated about the program and the phenomenal results that are occurring as a result of it. And then also there's going to be a grant writing portion, which we're working with a couple of grant writers in Richmond that I think there'll be some foundations across the country that might be interested in this program and seeing it continue to succeed. 100% of the students that have been through the program so far have been accepted at four-year universities, which is a phenomenal rate of success. And something that I'm sure future investors in the program, be it private individuals, businesses, or foundations, will be pretty happy about.
And schools like William and Mary,
Yep.
Princeton,
Yep.
UVA. We have a video about the Gladys P. Todd Academy showing some of the community leaders who've been involved in supporting it, as well as some of the students who talk about their experiences in the academy.
In 2015, Doris Buffett had an idea to help Fredericksburg and the areas surrounding it. Her idea was to start an academy for first-generation college students who've never had the opportunity to learn about going to college through their parents or their families. She believed that this was a way to change people's lives, not just for those students, but for their families and for the community. Miss Buffett is a generous, generous lady, and we are forever grateful to her for giving us the seed money to get this program started. But now she's retired from philanthropy, and it's our turn to support these students and continue Miss Buffett's dream.
One of the goals that we have as a community college is to provide access to our community and our community members to high-quality education. The Gladys Todd Academy program takes that a step further. To have an open door is one thing, but to help them walk through the door is what we hope to do. And so we hope that not only are we providing them access to a high-quality education with Germanna Community College, at the same time we're hoping that we're giving them the skills, the wherewithal, and the confidence to go that next step beyond and give them the tools and take it from a situation where they're just dreaming about college where it becomes a realistic goal.
It's been a pleasure to see so many students have the opportunity to attend Germanna, receive their associate's degree, and then transfer or enter into the workforce. The difference that we've made in the lives of those kids is remarkable.
We know that Gladys P. Todd Academy works. We know it. We know it because our students are successful. We know it because they speak so beautifully and they live so well and they go to fine colleges all over the country. And they came from very, very humble backgrounds.
My name is Lucas Mosnak. I'm an 18-year-old graduate of both Spotsylvania High School and Germanna Community College. I'm a first-generation student, so there was no one in my family, there were no close friends that I could go to for guidance and support through college. There was no source of money for it to come from. And I think one of the biggest factors that I made it through college was having both friends and staff that believed in me and that would help me. This entire program and everything associated with it has given me more than I thought I would ever receive in my life. It not only gave me the 2 free years, it gave me friends that I know I will always stay in touch with. It gave me dreams to accomplish. I think it has been a great opportunity and I couldn't have asked for more.
My name is Jenna Lee Satterwhite. I'm 18 years old. I went to James Monroe High School and Germanna Community College as part of the Gladys P. Todd Academy program. It was very welcoming and they were always there for us in our best interest. No student is going to feel like they can't afford it. No student is going to feel like they can't do it because you can talk to anyone and they will help you in any way they can. It's just endless opportunities for us. You're not only donating to Germanna Community College, you're donating to each and every student in the program. Every student in this program was chosen for a really good reason. We all have such great potential, we all care about education, and we just may not have all the opportunities to get there. By donating, you would give us an opportunity to further our education and be our first generation college student in our family.
We ask you to support the Gladys P. Todd Academy, not because it was a cool idea a few years ago that someone got started, but because it will be our future. And it's the love of these students and the love of their future that drives Germanna and our donors to want to see it continue. You have to understand that at Germanna, tuition is $5,000 a year. It doesn't take much to help those students, but it does take you.
So a lot of the people that you just saw in that video were interviewed at a special event that we had honoring a very famous local artist named Johnny Johnson. And The event is our Distinguished Philanthropist of the Year event, which we've done now for about 10 years or so. And Johnny has been very philanthropic within the community by donating a lot of his art, which is worth thousands and thousands of dollars. And he's also a retired educator. He taught in high school, he taught at UMW, and he taught at Germanna. And he was also involved in the civil rights struggle. So he's a very highly respected man in the community, and we wanted to honor him. And he said, well, I'll do it, I'll be honored, but I want the proceeds to go to the Gladys P. Todd program. So we certainly agreed to that, and so those people were interviewed at the event, and there were hundreds of people that sponsored and bought tickets. It was really a special evening. We have a short video where Johnny Johnson is interviewed, which is very interesting.
I began to create art, watercolors, and oils early on, and I remember how proud I was to buy my first easel, and I bought it from Sherwin-Williams, which was located downtown Fredericksburg. I'm Johnny Johnson. I'm a retired educator. I taught art in the public schools here. I love this area. I've been in this studio where my art was kept and created for over 40 years, and I'm very grateful to have been able to do that.
As a part of his interest in people, he was also interested in justice and equality of opportunity. And so as a result of that, he became involved in many organizations within the community.
I guess I've always been concerned about civil rights and working toward making things better for minorities.
One community activity he was certainly involved in was the United Way, because the United Way had a fundraiser. People in the community had an opportunity to get his paintings at an auction. And as a result of that, that fundraiser did extremely well. And he used his art ability to help advance the causes of those activities.
I've enjoyed being able to work, donate a lot of my work for causes, and sell a lot of my work probably for causes too.
Harambe, which was a theater group that my dad founded, we wouldn't have survived without Johnny P. raffling off paintings every year at the Black Arts Festival.
His artwork was in great demand at all times. It was never displayed for its own beauty or significance, and its impact was not simply because of its beauty and elegance, but it was because it helped to lift the lives of those in the community.
All the beauty is in his work, and his work will live on too. His work speaks for him, but to know him, that's his work.
I've enjoyed creating, and I have also enjoyed the response that people have given the work.
I'm very, very proud to just say that you couldn't find a better philanthropist than Johnny P. Johnson. His gifts go far beyond anything monetary. He gives from the heart. Probably every person in our church has a Johnny P. Johnson painting in the living room. I'm just so proud to be a part of his, what I consider his immediate family. My son and his son are best buddies, and there are Johnny P. paintings all over this house. Many he gave to my mom. Gladys P. Todd.
Gladys Todd. I started calling her Mom Todd. She was just a beautiful, caring human being. She loved people and she worked hard, and I was very pleased that this educational effort was made in her memory, in her name.
There couldn't be a better legacy for her than for young people today to just know her name. And I am honored that she is honored. My son is honored that she is honored. And she would be just absolutely thrilled. Just absolutely thrilled. There's nothing better than anybody could do for her.
Well, he's amazing. That's an amazing story, and we're very grateful and all good things. So since we have you here, what about this Atlantic Builders home? What can you tell us about that? Such a cool story.
Very cool story, a very exciting gift. Last spring, Atlantic Builders, who's a local Fredericksburg area builder, agreed to build a home in Stafford County and take the proceeds from the sale of it and donate it to Germanna. And the way that they do that is they work with all of their subcontractors and they call them vendor partners. Mm-hmm. And they get them to donate materials, donate labor. Sometimes they do both. And that increases the profit margin on the home. Mm-hmm. And so they have this big breakfast meeting with all of their vendor trade partners in the spring, and they announce who the charity is going to be that receives the gift. And so we all attended the breakfast, and they introduced that the Germanna Educational Foundation would be the recipient of the proceeds of this year's house. This is the third year that they've done it. And they had incredible participation from their trade partners, their vendor partners. We ran an ad early on to thank them, and all the vendors, trade partners, filled up a full-page ad. Wow! So there's just a ton of them, and most of those trade partners all have either been to Germanna themselves, or a spouse that went to Germanna, or they have kids that go to Germanna. Mm-hmm. There's a deep connection, and so
the real community college.
Absolutely, and they all stepped up, and that was really amazing. And we were quite surprised when they presented us a check 2 weeks ago for $250,000. Wow. Yeah, outstanding. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, that's a feel-good story, and we have feel-good video as well of the adorable family that bought the home, and
that's a good video.
Very good. Well, let's take a look.
Hi, I'm Laura Larita.
I'm Anthony Larita.
And this is Jacob, and this is Isaac, and we just moved from Monterey, California this past summer in August. We were looking for a new home, and we came upon the Atlantic Builders home, and it was everything we were looking for. We had a great experience with our sales agent. He told us about the charity home that Atlantic Builders was doing, and it made us want to buy the home even more, so we were really excited to support a good cause. We recently moved in, and we have boxes everywhere, but it's been a great experience so far, and we're looking forward to making a lot of family memories here.
I'm Bruce Davis. I run the Educational Foundation at Germanna Community College. We're excited to be here today with the check presentation of the proceeds from the sale of this beautiful home. The proceeds were donated by most of the Atlantic Builders subs and vendors, and Atlantic Builders also took their cut of the profits and then donated $250,000 to Germanna, the Educational Foundation. And we are exceptionally blessed to have Atlantic Builders and their vendors in the community do this. To have this generous gift means the world to Germanna and its students.
Atlantic Builders is a very special company. They build beautiful homes, but more importantly, they and their trade partners really partner with the communities they serve to help people who need the help. Their contributions, they and their trade partners, to Germanna Community College Educational Foundation. This year, Their charity house, their house for the good of humanity, allowed Germanna Educational Foundation, wait for it, to get $250,000 to help students. Let me tell you what that means. That means 25 students can get a full ride through Germanna and on to their future. At Germanna Community College, we love our students, but we also love Atlantic Builders and their trade partners.
Hi, my name is Tom Schodel. I'm president of Atlantic Builders. On behalf of Atlantic Builders and 30 to 40 trade partners that contributed to this project, we're certainly very happy to be doing this for Germanna Community College. One of Atlantic Builders' core values is to give back to the community, and when we hire our trades as well as employees, we look for these traits in our trades. So when we do a project like this, it's really not hard to go reach out to the trades and say, hey, listen, we're interested in donating to this good cause, and would you be interested in contributing? And generally we get participation almost right off the bat. And the number of trades that participate is just about unanimous. So we're really proud of our trade partners for what they do for us and supporting the community. And I know they're happy to do it.
Hi, I'm Tommy Franklin of Franklin Electric, just here at the charity event for the Germanna that put together the house here with the Atlantic Builders. Very happy to be involved, just to be able to give back to the community. Germanna's playing a big part in promoting trades and getting trades help out here in the trade field, which is a big important part. Very nice to be able to be involved. There's a lot of my employees and a lot of people live in the community, and just like to give back every chance that we get a chance to.
This past year, our trade partners were able to generate roughly $180,000 of the donation, which is quite impressive, and that's just gone up every single year. As a company, Atlantic Builders has tried to find some incredibly wonderful local organizations to help benefit over the course of our charity projects, and Germanna has just fit the bill. Tommy, the rest of our trade partners really came up big when it came to making a donation for this home.
My name's Adam Freed. I'm CEO of Atlantic Builders. This is our third home, and we plan to keep doing them annually. It's the most we've ever raised, and it went to Germanna. Atlantic Builders has supported Germanna for many years. We're very proud of our scholarships. Over the years, my business partners and I have gotten to meet many Germanna students, from kids that are homeschooled that are going to Germanna to older people that are coming back and learning skills. We were very delighted that our trade partners were very engaged and dug deep and gave the most money we've ever done to make this possible, to do this for Germanna and be a part of its growth. We're also particularly excited about the growing FredCat program that helps people in the construction area learn trades and skills and get credentials.
Well, nothing not to love about that story. That's just
really
delightful.
A beautiful house.
Yeah.
A generous gift. From
Very
Atlantic
generous
Builders.
gift from Atlantic Builders.
And
yes.
the Freeds, who
yes.
have helped Germanna in many ways.
Yes, very much so. Very much so. And thank you to Bruce Davis for coming to talk with us. Cheryl is now back.
Yes. Well, we've definitely seen a lot of great action coming out of Germanna Community
So many
College.
good stories today. Yes.
We have impressive alumni who are getting ahead with their lives and doing exactly what they want. They have been empowered to move ahead, and that brings it back to our community because they make a difference in what we do. And we have great supporters like Atlantic Builders.
Absolutely.
And people like Bruce Davis, who goes out and helps us build our programs.
Yep.
Through our foundation.
Yeah, and I'm sure that coming up in the future, there'll be more good news to share.
Yes.
I think that was a packed dance card for today.
And don't forget to enroll for your spring classes.
Of the length that you desire.
Go for those 7 weeks and work really fast and really hard.
And we hope that everyone watching will enjoy their holidays as well, and we'll see you in 2020.